Well, as you can see from the last chapter, with all the TV signal possibilities to choose from, the way you hook everything up is very important. No matter where your signal comes from, sooner or later it has to go into the back of the VCR. If the end of your antenna cable is like this, screw it onto this antenna input jack. Your VCR can now receive everything your TV set's been receiving. On the other hand, the end of your antenna cable may look like this. In that case, you'll need to use the antenna mixer which was packed in with your VCR. Attach the twin UHF, VHF antenna leads to it, like this, and then slip it onto the antenna end jack. The next step is to send signals from your VCR to the TV. Attach this coaxial cable which came with the VCR to the VCR's antenna output jack, and the other end to the TV's antenna input jack. Your VCR is now hooked up to your TV. However, some TV sets have antenna terminals similar to this. If yours does, use the signal splitter that came with your VCR to attach the cable coming from the VCR to the TV, like this. Both your TV set and your VCR should now be able to receive normal broadcast TV signals. If your TV signal comes from a cable TV system, you most likely have a cable that looks like this. If so, simply screw it on to this input jack. Your VCR's tuner is cable compatible, so you should now be able to tune all of your previously available cable channels. However, many cable TV systems use a special cable box to protect their signals. This complicates the hookup situation a little, but there are several options you can select to suit your particular recording needs. Here's one example of how to hook up a cable box to your VCR. The cable signal coming into your home is first fed into the input of the cable box, and then fed out the output of the cable box and into the antenna input jack on the VCR. Then, the VCR output signal is fed to your TV. The advantage of this hookup option is you can record all available cable TV channels because you're using the cable box for tuning. The disadvantage is you can't use your VCR's tuner to make channel selections since all cable boxes allow only one TV channel at a time into your VCR. If your cable system protects only certain channels by scrambling the signal, there is another way to hook up your cable box. First, connect the cable TV system's antenna cable to the antenna in jack of your VCR. Next, connect one end of a coaxial cable to the antenna out jack of the VCR and connect the other end to the antenna in jack on the cable box. Then, connect the antenna out jack of the cable box to the antenna input on the TV. The advantage of this hookup option is you get to make most channel selections using the VCR's tuner. The disadvantage is you can view premium or so-called scrambled channels, but you can't record them since unscrambling occurs after the signal has already passed through the VCR. What all this means is when using your VCR with a cable box, you may have to choose between the cable TV company's tuner or the tuner in the VCR. Well, you can relax now. Hooking up your VCR is probably the hardest thing for most people to deal with, and you just went through it. So let's go on to Chapter 6. Well, now that we've got everything hooked up, let's take a look at selecting channels. Your VCR's tuner can receive UHF and VHF broadcast channels, and if you're a cable subscriber, CATV channels too. To do that, we need to make sure that these switches are set to the right positions. In most cases, once you've done this, you probably won't need to reset them again. Okay, set the source select switch to the tuner position. Next, for normal broadcast TV channels, set the band select switch to the TV position. to CATV for cable channels or HRC for HRC cable channels. If you're not sure you've got HRC in your area, select the CATV position and tune your VCR to a cable channel using the VCR's tuner. Then, switch back and forth between the HRC and CATV positions and see which one gives the best picture and response time. Next, for normal broadcast TV channels, set the automatic frequency control, or AFC switch, to normal. For cable channel viewing, set the AFC switch to special. The AFC will automatically fine-tune the video signal. If your TV has similar switches, set them to match those on your VCR. Now, make sure that this indicator light is on to be sure that you're using the VCR's tuner. To select a channel, simply press the channel number you want and enter. You can also press one of the channel scan arrows until you reach the channel you want. Or use the remote control to quickly select a specific channel. Here's how to scan only your favorite channels. Enter the channel number that you want to eliminate. Let's select 5 and press skip. You'll see PO flash briefly, telling you the channel has been programmed out of the scanning sequence. The channel number is now no longer available. So, when you use the channel scan controls, you'll see only those channels that you really want to see. To restore channel 5 to the scan sequence, simply re-enter the channel number and press enter. Well, that's how you tune in your channels. Let's find out how to record them. Before we get into the steps in recording, here's a handy reference chart of video cassette recording and playback times. It'll help you choose the right length cassette for your recording. Your VCR will record both SP and EP tape length. The faster SP speed will give you the best picture quality, and the slower EP speed provides the longest playing time. This number tells you the cassette in this box is 120 minutes or 2 hours long at the SP speed. At the EP speed, this cassette will be 6 hours long. Use the SP-EP switch to manually select your recording speed. Okay, let's record a TV program. First, load a cassette and make sure that this safety tab is in place or that the hole is covered with a piece of tape. Select the recording speed and tune the channel to the channel you want. Or you can use the remote for channel selection. However, if you're using a cable TV box to select the channel, you'll have to tune the VCR to either channel 3 or 4, the output of most cable boxes. Now we're ready to record. Hold record and at the same time press play. The red circle icon indicates the VCR is recording. Pressing clock count remain will display the tape time available for recording in hours and minutes. If the tape reaches the end during manual recording, the VCR will automatically stop and rewind to the beginning. Here are some reminders to quickly check before you start recording. Let's try recording one channel while we watch a different one. We'll record this channel using the VCR's tuner, just as we did a moment ago. But now, we'll just press Tape TV so the light goes out, and then you can watch whatever channel you select on the television without affecting the VCR's recording. But that's not the only way your new VCR can record. For example, this instant record button allows you to start recording a program almost instantly. Here's how. Go through the normal steps to get ready for recording. Then, when you want to record, just select the channel and press this button twice. Recording begins immediately. Notice the clock display has changed. and now tells us the VCR will record for 30 minutes. Each time the instant record button is pushed, we add another 30 minutes, up to a total of 4 hours. The recording time you've selected will count down to 0, and the power will switch off automatically. Pressing stop terminates instant record at any time. Well, that about wraps up this chapter, so here comes Chapter 8.